o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order here on January 4th. If you would bow your heads for the invocation. Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant us the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen.
We will forego the roll call as all council people are in attendance on this Zoom meeting this evening. Approval of minutes for the city council meeting of December 21st would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We go on to audience comments. Is there still no audience?
Correct. No audience.
Okay, we will move on. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? Being not, will a motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We need a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made, supported. There is no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration. We have three this evening. The first one being consideration of granting Michigan Department of Transportation a permanent easement at 32 in Main. Mr. City Manager?
The city has been working with MDOT to complete the planning and design phase of the traffic signal improvements at 32 Mile Road and Main Street, otherwise known as M19. As council's aware, council and Tifa agreed to pay extra to have this signal upgraded to the mast arm design. And due to this upgrade, MDOT needs an easement from the city of Richmond on the southeast corner and from Macomb County on the northwest corner. The city administration and the city attorney have reviewed all of the documentation that the MDOT has provided so that they can get an easement from us right at that southeast corner to allow them to place a mast arm, pedestrian push button, and control box within that easement. So administration's recommendation is that we approve and grant them the permanent easement.
Thank you. Jim, you're here tonight. Do you have anything to add to what the city manager had to say?
Nope, nothing new.
Okay. Council, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the MDOT easement documents provided in the packet for the easement associated with the M19 and 32 Mile Road Traffic Signal Improvement Project. Authorize the city manager to sign the documents on behalf of the city of Richmond, including the amount of $13,280 for the easement.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Any discussion? Jim, I have one concern. I appreciate all the information that you added. It's hard to tell by the maps exactly what we're talking about. Do you know exactly? Here's my concern. We have so many things in the sidewalk as it is with our streetscape and everything else. Do you know, is this going to be more in the sidewalk or is this going to be off the sidewalk? The way that I read the map, it looks like it's right smack dab in the middle of the sidewalk.
Well, I believe it's actually kind of behind the sidewalk in that area. So there's,
Correct.
and technically speaking, the existing roadway is actually outside of MDOT's right of way technically. So the mast arms, the roadway, this is bringing everything within a permanent easement. So it won't impact the sidewalk itself per se. There'll just be some infrastructure now behind the sidewalk.
Good, great. Any other questions, comments?
This is no way going to interfere with that future expansion of the trail.
They've indicated a willingness to work with us when they get out there and go do final locations. And we have quite a bit of area between kind of on Division Road if we need to kind of realign the trail a little bit. to go around anything they put in there. But we have stood out on that exact corner with MDOT, with all of us looking at that trail, knowing that it was going to be future trail. So they're well aware of what our needs are there.
Okay, anything else, council? Still no one in attendance, John?
Correct.
Okay. We'll call for the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Against? Motion does pass. And that project is slated for spring, summer?
The letting is April 2nd. So originally it was spring, summer, so I think it's probably going to be summer, fall.
Okay.
Just because of the right-of-way issues with this one, this is the intersection that got like taken out of the bigger package and is being bid all by itself.
Okay. 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 Item number 2 is consideration of the adoption of a resolution number 2021-1, addition of West Richmond subdivision streets to city street system. Mr. City Manager?
The approved site plan for the Richmond West subdivision identified that all proposed streets become public right-of-way and the responsibility of the city to maintain. We have started to plow those streets. There are people that now are living on them. So Jim is recommending that we approve them and have them added to the Act 51 funding for the city. That way we can get funds for the next few years up until the point where they will have enough homes built in there that they put the wearing course on.
Okay. Jim, anything to add to that?
Only that the motivation right now is to get it on the Act 51 map solely so we can receive funding for those roads. And as the city manager stated, the wearing course has not yet been installed, and that's intentional because we want the majority of that to be developed. So there's any repairs would be the cost of the developer to fix and then to top that roadway. So that's not impacting that agreement in any way by us adding this to our Act 51 map.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion before any further discussion?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2021-01 to approve the addition of the streets within the Richmond West subdivision to the city's municipal street system.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Discussion?
I had a question on the letter. Just wondering, is it at the city's discretion when the final course goes on, or is that by the property owners?
It's really both, I would say. The intention is to work with the developer on timing.
If you read it, the development will be evaluated annually by the city to determine. Excuse me.
I talked to John about this earlier, Jim. The last sentence in the April 1st, 2020 letter you send this to on the, the agreement that we have with the developer. I have a concern there that it says at the request of the property owner, it will be inspected and determined. That to me is not making it very clear that the city has the ability to tell the developer that they are to finish the wearing course now. And I was hoping maybe we could get a new understanding in writing, clarifying that the city, since we're accepting the streets, we're responsible. And there's been other communities that certainly never got their wearing course put down in their subdivisions and a developer went kaput, whatever. I'm not saying anything about this developer, but things can happen. And I was informed tonight by an individual who knows very well that St. Clair is having the problem now where they're special assessing a subdivision because the developer went kaput and there was no money in escrow or a bond or anything else. It's not the first time that I've heard about that over the years that we've had these issues. I don't know that we've had these issues in the city of Richmond on public streets. But I'd hate to see something where the city would have to take the cost of the wearing course. I don't know your Act 51 money. I don't believe it take years for Act 51 money to pay that wearing course off. And we're not really into special assessments. At least this sitting council has been against special assessments for.
And Jim, what I mentioned is that we can take a look with the contractor to amend that letter and get it back for council.
Sure, yes, that's a legitimate concern that the mayor brings up. And we do have a good working relationship with this contractor, and part of the discussion and the reason behind this letter is because there's cost in a bond, and if we had, at this time, we don't have any concerns that the developer may not be around in the future. And so this was kind of our compromise, our reassurance that will get topped. The intention wasn't that the developer has to ask before the city can require that road to be topped. It was more, the wording was kind of intended so that the city has a say in not allowing it to be topped too quickly, because the developer could have said, hey, I'd like to top it in 2020. Yeah. And the city is not prepared to do that at that time, but I understand that concern.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to item number 3 is consideration of scheduling a quarterly round table workshop. Mr. City Manager?
The council is being asked to schedule its next quarterly roundtable meeting. Quarterly roundtable meetings provide an opportunity for the city to discuss specific areas of concern in detail in a workshop format. Normally we have our January quarterly roundtable meeting, which is where we look at do a deep dive into the goals and objectives and review those to see if any changes need to be made. Currently, with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services order, at least this current meeting that we're in, we're required to meet through Zoom. And then the concern is potentially even possibly the next one. So certainly we've provided you with the January calendar and the February. I know in the past, council has expressed some concern on meeting in a workshop format through Zoom. So.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion, or would council like to suspend our rules and come up with a date first?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then we suspend the rules and we'll have a discussion. Is the 18th good for everybody? If the governor drops her rules, we could meet like we did before at the council chambers. I believe it's still set up.
It is, yes.
Yeah, still set up to keep our social distancing and everything.
18th works good for me.
It's good for me.
And I do have some training next month that I will be going to, so.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, works.
and that's, my question would be, if she does extend it, how like, could we try to make it immediately the Monday after she extends it to at what point are we not available on Mondays? Like all my Mondays are free until like the 25th of February.
Okay.
Just as a backup, because
Yeah.
I'm fine with the 18th, but just to keep in mind that we might have to have a backup.
Yeah. I can't believe that they're not going to, or that they are going to extend this. Hasn't her,
The numbers are down.
and hasn't previously she given us some time, like 10 days to 2 weeks before they implement?
It just depends. Certainly, I would think that we would know before the 18th because this current order would expire on the 15th. So I think we would at least know, 12th, 13th, 14th, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere next week, we'll know.
Okay, so we would know if, it would just be simply canceling. If we do the
Right.
18th, still can't be in person. If, how is the 25th going to work for everybody? It's the following Monday.
Good.
That's
That would be
good for
our-
me.
That's good for me too.
I'm
All
good.
right, so we can use that as a backup just in case, but we would be able to make that motion on the 18th at the regular city council meeting.
Okay.
So, okay. All right, going to get back to making a motion, anybody?
Oh, what time?
What time? Yeah.
Time.
6 o'clock.
6?
6 works.
6 is good for me.
8 in the morning works for me.
Yeah, okay. Someone's got to make money for your pension, so
And I appreciate you working for me, John, to keep that
you're
pension.
welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to schedule the special quarterly roundtable meeting for the city council on January 18th, 2021 at the city hall beginning at 6 PM.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Was there somebody else voting back there? Sounds like somebody's dog or something was yapping back there.
Yeah.
Motion does pass. Okay, miscellaneous matters from the city council. I'm sorry, from the city manager first, John.
Just a heads up that we plan on taking down the Christmas decorations and the tree the week of January 11th. And as a reminder, it was in the weekly update, but we have talked to the contractor and we are on schedule to do the sewer repair at Main and Madison tomorrow. So starting tomorrow morning, Madison Street there at Main will be closed. We do anticipate that we'll be able to keep two-way traffic flowing on Main Street.
Very good. Okay, moving on, council comments. Rob,
Nothing tonight.
Dennis,
No, nothing tonight.
Jamie,
No, sir.
Emily,
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
John,
Nothing tonight, sir.
Michael.
No, nothing to add either. Thank you.
Okay, well, we starting a new year here. We had it was beautiful Christmas as far as the snow. Couldn't have been better. Hit Christmas Eve and just all day Christmas Day. It just added to the atmosphere. And Main Street looks so nice with all the new decorations and all the stores that were lit up this year, and so many houses that took the time to light their houses up in the celebration. It was really nice. New Year's was pretty quiet from what it sounds like. And hopefully we have a better year this year overall with the vaccine and everything else. We go to the calendar. Today being the 4th, there is a Park and Rec meeting on Zoom at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll be discussing the new master plan before it comes to city council, probably on the 18th.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, if I can jump in there. A month or so ago, I gave all of the council members copies of that master plan. If you don't have yours, let me know because I'll need to make you another one for the next meeting. But I would like it if you were able to find the one we gave you about a month ago.
Okay. We have a library board meeting on the 11th at 7 o'clock. That also is by Zoom. The cable commission will be meeting on the 12th at 7 o'clock by Zoom. And the planning commission, I believe the BZA, will they be meeting on that too? Okay, so BZA is at 7 o'clock. And then planning commission will be following right after the BZA meeting. And 2 weeks from tonight, the 18th, will be our next regular city council meeting with a 6 o'clock meeting start time for our council workshop. All meetings are open to the, well, I shouldn't say that they're all open to the public, but they're open through Zoom. They would be open. There's a possibility that it would be virtual within City Hall if we are meeting on the 18th, depending on what the state does with the rules and regulations on the COVID. Was there anything else to be added to the calendar right now?
Not that I have.
Yeah, okay. All right, move on here. There is no closed session. Is there any other business of the city council? Being not, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Against? Thanks for being with us.